If you are watching this episode on YouTube, then head over to the Spotify link in the description to watch the full discussion.
Recently, Chainsaw Man the Reze Arc has dropped on digital for everyone to watch, and now I feel like this is the perfect time to talk about it. And so basically, Chainsaw Man the Reze Arc is a continuation from season one of Chainsaw Man, and it's about how Denji meets this girl called Reze, and it feels like the first time he has to pick between two girls, Makima and Reze, and then basically he finds out that she is also a demon, and action happens, and generally one of the best, I would say, romance films. It's kind of hard to explain, but um, no, brilliant acting. The acting from everyone, and I'm talking about this Japanese voice acting, so I won't be talking about the dub, but the dub is good from what I've seen on edits. But no, the original Japanese is good, and because Chainsaw Man's quite an emotional story of Denji and watching his character, being manipulated and used for, even though he just wants to be loved. We see sort of that heartfeltness and that sadness, especially in the car chase segment of um the film, where he says, "Everyone's after my chainsaw heart. What about my Denji heart?" And we see, you know, just sort of that look. And Denji is such a brilliant protagonist, and I think people really dumb him down, which I think is the one thing I hear about some Chainsaw Man fans or people that haven't seen the show, and they kind of read the plot, and it's just, wow, he's just a horny teenage boy. It's like, but you don't understand why. And that's what I think makes Chainsaw Man so good. And the side characters are all brilliant. Reza, genuinely one of the best, like top three of the year. If we're going by, if we counter the villain, I'd say, yeah, like one of the best villains. And everyone else, Aki has a great arc, and he's really good in the film. And Aki's one of the best characters in the show for me. Makima has a great scene with Denji at the cinema, which I like. I like how Chainsaw Man like really has a lot of respect for like American films, like Tarantino, especially. Like if you watch the opening credits for season one, a lot of film references: Pulp Fiction, Reservoir, No Country for Old Men. No, we definitely, and the animation. No, the animation in the Reze arc does change. If you watch season one, then watch the Reze arc, you will notice. Personally, I think over time I preferred the Reze arc's brighter animation, but I do like season one's more punk, dark, grimy look. Both do, I think, service the story, but I've heard the movie's more accurate to Fujimoto's art and the manga. But no, I think the animation is one of the best. And the reason I want to talk about Chainsaw Man most, besides its amazing story, characters, writing, and animation, it, to me, recently with the Golden Globes and soon the Oscars next month, we will see this movie get snubbed over and over again. And I think the one thing I don't like about the Oscar award shows in general is they do not, let anime films get anything. I think a good example. No, the animation category didn't start until like later in the Oscars career, so some films weren't eligible for it. But a film that I watched recently that I think should have been nominated and even won is Paprika by Satoshi Kon. A brilliant film. And I've never seen it, but one of my friends loves Your Name, and Your Name did not get a nomination that year and lost. And a lot of people hate this, but Boss Baby got nominated over Your Name. So basically, what I wanted to talk about mostly was how I think anime as a genre really gets snubbed during award seasons, unless it's like a few things. I saw Demon Slayer got nominated at Critics' Choice or something when Chainsaw Man didn't. And personally, I've not seen Demon Slayer, but from all the reviews, especially comparing it to Chainsaw Man is objectively better as a film because the way like it moves much better, has better writing and characters and story. So I think personally, Chainsaw Man really got snubbed, you know. But back to the writing, you know, the animation is beautiful. There's a scene with fireworks, and it is like a shot of Denji and Reze holding hands and a kiss, and it's the fireworks, and it is genuinely some of the best looking animation I've seen ever, and the best of the whole year. And the action is brilliant, especially the second half, which is more action packed. At it running at an hour and 40, probably -10 before doing credits. But no, yeah, and the dynamic between Reze and Denji, I won't spoil, but the ending and the post credit scene are just brilliant. And I need to rewatch it. I haven't rewatched it since my showing in IMAX, but the just seeing it on the big screen was amazing, and I think this is generally could be a film that grows on me more and more if I rewatch it. But yes, no, I think this is one of the best films of the year, and if you have not seen Chainsaw Man, watch it and come back. Well, watch it and then rewatch this with a better understanding of the work. So now I'm going to pass this on to Benjamin to talk about the Ballad of Wallace Island.